Hey guys, Kate Miller here, coming to you from our next Zoom session. My guest today is one of my fellow attorneys at Miller Bowles Law, Brett Holladay. Brett, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, thanks. So Brett, we obviously all of us at Miller Bowles Law have been very closely monitoring the COVID situation, not only from a health standpoint, but also certainly from the justice system and how it's impacting our clients. And today I wanted to just give everyone kind of an overview of the information that we have received so far so that folks can understand what we're able to do, what we aren't able to do, and help them out in that way. So we actually just got updates yesterday from the Chief Justice. Can you tell us about the information that we received from Chief Justice Beasley?
Yeah, absolutely. So Chief Justice Beasley of the North Carolina Supreme Court yesterday issued some new guidelines on filing deadlines for any motions and things that we have to file with the court. So previously, she told us that anything that was supposed to be filed from March 16th through April 17th, as long as we filed any of those documents by April 17th, that would be considered a timely filing. What she did earlier this week was extend that out through June 1st. So now what they've told us is anything that we need to file that is required to be filed between March 16th and June 1st, as long as we file it by June 1st, that is the timely filing for the Supreme Court purposes, and that applies to all of our civil filings. So what that means practically is that if you had something, for example, that was due on April 20th, as long as we file it on June 1st, that is considered a timely filing. Now, it's important to note that it also applies to some other acts. It applies to discovery as well. There's another order that basically said any other acts that must be performed during that time are also pushed out. So it buys us a little more time on some of those things that we may need to push out. But it's also important to note that we can continue to file. This doesn't prohibit us from filing. It's just pushing back deadlines. If we had any pressing deadlines, it pushes those to June 1st. It certainly doesn't prevent us from going and filing. We can still institute lawsuits, still file motions, still issue discovery in the meantime.
Okay. Got it. So June 1st is kind of that key date that we're working from at this point. What about any court hearings at all? Is there anything that's open and running for folks to have access to justice?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So basically the same deadlines that are in place, or the same timeline that's in place for filings, is also in place when it comes to court hearings. So in general, court hearings between now and June 1st are going to be postponed. That applies to most court hearings, but there are some important exceptions to that. So one important exception to that is domestic violence hearings. So if a victim is seeking a domestic violence restraining order, either an ex parte order, which is an emergency order, or a 1-year order, as we call them, those are still available. Those are available in Mecklenburg County now during morning sessions. So that's something that we can still do on a regular basis. And in addition to that, in the context of family court, the other major filing that is still open to clients is for emergency custody. So that would apply in situations where we believe there's an imminent emergency involving a child, a parent may be fleeing the state, any type of abuse or physical harm to the child. We still could file for emergency custody in Mecklenburg County.
Okay. Have you had the opportunity to go to domestic violence court since these restrictions have been put into place?
Yeah, so I've actually been in domestic violence court a couple times since the restrictions have been put in place. So as much as possible, court's ongoing as it can. The hearings are still being held, but there have been some changes made. It's not a full courtroom like it was before. They're employing social distancing measures, so they have people sitting out in the hall, only attorneys in the courtroom when they need to be. So they're taking all the precautions they need to, but the hearings are ongoing. And so if a victim of domestic violence needs to be in court to ask for a restraining order, we're certainly still able to go into court and ask for those restraining orders and have hearings. Those hearings.
That's great. Okay. Well, I hope that none of you out there watching this need a restraining order, but unfortunately we know that during times like this, the need arises even more so. So if you or anybody needs help with that, please give us a call. We'll put a link at the bottom of the video so that you can reach out to us directly and confidentially. So hope everyone stays safe. Brett, thank you so much for all the info today, and everybody stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Bye.